Hi guys, I am thrilled to present to you the updated version of your 3D model with the numerous changes that you'd asked for instance, at the entry and with the washer, laundry area moving again, and the powder being added. It was quite a lot of changes, but they're folded in now, and the interior model's looking a little bit better. So let's start to take a tour through the revised house. So at the front, we're seeing a significant change to the front door, inspired very much by the image that you sent me. So we're seeing a very wide door, 48 inches wide, arched at the top, and this would swing inside of a glass transom and clear story that goes all the way around this window. Very, very beautiful. Um, and then in addition to seeing this get much wider and more substantial and seeing these steps curve at the front, we're also seeing that I have now extended this roof, the front porch roof, as almost as far as I could. I want to leave a little bit of space here for there to be about a 4-inch space between the end of the gutter and the corner of the wall. I want there to be a little bit of space there. But when people are standing underneath here, there's definitely some overhead porch. It's just a bit higher up than what your neighbors have. Certainly, your neighbors to the left and right do have a deeper covered porch with a column, but this certainly stands out while still providing that protection for your guests coming up and waiting for you to answer the front door. We are still seeing the beauty of the dining space pop out there. No changes to the exterior look here. We are seeing the revisions for adding the washer dryer upstairs did shift around where this bathroom is. And so, I wonder if this bedroom works just fine with two windows instead. Obviously, there's a more fine-tuned way of doing that, but I think in the interest of saving cost, maybe we just do this. Maybe instead of having three windows for each of the bedrooms on the high wall, yeah, we'll just do two. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more, but just looking at that with fresh eyes as I'm flying around, the windows were far too dense given how this bathroom course shifted. So I think now just two windows at each of the bed walls will work out much better there. And through the glass, we're starting to see a glimpse of that continuation of that curved element happening at the dining room. We'll focus on that more in a little bit, but ooh la la, very, very beautiful. As we continue around the house, no changes to the window pop up there, no changes to the balcony, no changes to the downstairs area. Just to confirm, the chimney is cut down. There would be a flue or a pipe sticking up out of here to vent the hot gases, or we might actually do a vent out the back wall here. But we're not doing a big, tall, express chimney piece like I was showing before. And then no changes here, although we are starting to see the three windows, I think, look really good proportionally on the interior elevation for above the tub area. Okay, so flying around, I think that covers all of the exterior changes. So now, let's go ahead and go inside. And things look tighter in my 3D model than they'll feel in real life. But when you come in the door, we'll see a little bit of library shelving here, perfect little spot to drop off keys or whatnot, or use it as a real library. And then what we're seeing is, I would recommend not everywhere doing these half round doors, but I really do like pairing the half round door here for your front entry with a half round door here for the coat closet, just as a one-off, and again to help carry the theme that we're seeing that leads into the dining space. And so because we've got this half round here. When we come through this arched opening, this very unique arched opening, we're greeted with a really fantastic double height dining space. It's really, really awesome. And as we come through, we turn around and we see that half round again, continuing past the pantry core, leading into the kitchen and family room. And then here again is a half round niche that's for display or whatnot. But I really like the composition of these spaces. And then to save on some costs, we're not going to do a full ceiling of wood up there. Wood ceiling is kind of expensive, so we'll do drywall, mostly drywall. But then when we step in for the final tray ceiling expression up there, that will have a little bit of wood ceiling to match the wood flooring, perhaps. Really tie the spaces together. There we're seeing the closed door leading to your office, past the pantry. And then one final element in here that I think I want to flag for you, I like it, I want to make sure you like it too, is that with the curves happening here for this huge curved opening, just like we have happening at the front entry, here we've got this inset happening for the counter depth fridge, the two side-by-side fridges. I would say that to transition this and allow for a very clean ceiling plane, a very clean rectangle for the ceiling here, this bump out here doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. We instead, once we get above the ceiling plane of the kitchen and we've captured the height of the refrigerator and the cabinetry, then we gently curve up at a half round curve to transition into the crown trim that we have going around the dining room. And then looking at this back wall, I really like how this back wall looks, where we've got these two windows here are centered in the overall composition here. Though on the inside, because of that fridge bump out, it's not exactly centered on the room anymore. But that's okay. Something's got to give sometimes. But when people first come in through this half of the curved opening, they're going to see these four windows very clearly centered on that line. And if we look this way too, we'd also see that these two windows are centered on this line, thanks to the bump in and the carve out that we're doing here. I think this is fantastic. I'm really curious to hear what you guys say. Actually, I studied this a little more carefully, and I think this might actually be the better back elevation for the dining room. I've shifted the windows and the door over to be centered on the dining room roof, the dining room ceiling. This looks better. This is in line with what's happening at the front elevation too. So these four windows here, or these two pairs of windows, are now aligned with these two pairs. It looks better on the ceiling, and I figured the reason I offset it before was to make more room for one bit of cabinetry, but why not just split it and have a built-in piece of cabinetry or a piece of furniture here that's low, and then a piece of furniture here that might be tall. You can certainly omit these pieces altogether as well, and again, just leave them perhaps open or have some smaller furniture. But I think that by having these pieces centered here, it just works a lot better with the overall composition, the overall ceiling design, and I think this looks really handsome. This is a very handsome composition back here. And then looking from the back, looking at this, I like it even better. It's now perfectly centered on the roof and the ceiling, like I said before, and these evenly spaced corbels, this one lands right on this mid post. It's perfect. So, and let's move this light over to accommodate that shift. All right, there we go. I think this is perfect. And another reason why I had it over before was I was a little worried about the tightness of the gutter to the window here, but I think we'll be okay. I'm not over worried about it. And this is such a small roof anyways. Perhaps the roofer could be so kind as to give us a slightly smaller size gutter here, since we've only got so little roofing coming down. All right. I'll splice this into the video and then we'll take off from where the dining room conversation was happening, or what you guys think. But let's go back to the foyer and then just do a quick peek into your office. So there would be a middle section here that would crank open to give you guys some natural ventilation. I know we talked about maybe working in another side window, but just to be honest with you, I tried one here and I tried one over here, and it just felt a little unnecessary to me. And it felt like it just was competing with the simplicity of this half round window here at the front. Any window here just kind of feels like it's competing with, it's going to create back glare for your screens. We could do it. I'd be happy to look at this with you live, but after looking at it, I opted to take it out. I did not think that a window here or here was really necessary. But this is a pretty nice office space, very private office space now, with a door leading into a small closet and a door leading into an as yet undeveloped bathroom. But when we head back out into the foyer or into the hallway past the pantry core, we start to get a glimpse of the stairs and the kitchen. And I'm really happy with this kitchen. I think you will be too. Nice big island, side-by-side fridge and freezer column with storage above. The pop-out bay window gives a lot of extra depth here at the sink area. And we've got a 48-inch wide range, cooktop and ovens below, built-in microwave, pull-out trash, dishwasher. I think this is fantastic. And then we've got an unencumbered island with storage on two sides of the island. So lots of storage happening here, but a very clean countertop with nothing happening on it, as well as access into the double wide doors that would open into the powerhouse of pantry, a step-in pantry. And just like we have at this side of the foyer, we're seeing the same curve, the same half of that curve happening here at the foyer side is also happening at the kitchen side. And then, just because I'm a sucker for motifs and I'm a sucker for trying to find ways to pull shapes like this in elsewhere into the design, I think maybe we can do something here. We don't need this piece of countertop. This cantilever is not a lot. We can have this edge just floating out there. But I thought to myself, why not take a little bit of scrap countertop material that might be left over and cut this curve into it and create for ourselves a little bit of a false leg that matches this cut, matches that curve. I'm certainly starting to spill over into interior design doing something like this, but I think it's a really, really fun feature. And then here at the kitchen, I'm proposing just for this amount of wall space and then everything that's happening at this pop-out window, let's just do tile for the entirety of the wall here. There's not that much wall to do, but I would just say for cohesion, just let all of that be the same backsplash material and not do a mix of backsplash, tile, and drywall. Just do, for what little drywall there could be, let's just have it be covered in tile. And then as we look back this way towards the family room, I think this is very nice. We've got a lot of seating happening here, and we've also got ourselves a nice, wide but low linear fireplace that might allow for the TV not to be too tall. I mean, this right now is pretty high. The TV's high. Of course, I'd love to have the TV lower, but at what expense? You know, we could get rid of this built-in storage element. Maybe perhaps we just get rid of the middle section of it, and then we drop the fireplace down to the ground and lower the TV too, so that the TV's at a more comfortable viewing height. Then the fire starts to get cut off from the kitchen. Still see the TV. The TV's at a good height here, but the fireplace is cut off a bit. Versus this design here, the fireplace is well above this full width built-in bench / storage cabinet. It's a perfect bench height. but I just don't want you guys to have a TV that's too high up. It's not so bad. I've seen worse, but yeah. For what it's worth, we talked about this before. I would also be a fan of perhaps shifting the fireplace off center. I don't think we need to be so centered like this. Which side would I put the fireplace on? Probably this side here. Just cover up the heat pump, not look out at the heat pump right there. Move the fireplace over to the side, and then allow the TV to drop to a more comfortable height. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's okay where it is. I'm probably rambling on too much about that TV. If we turn this way, we can start to see how I've incorporated some mudroom storage underneath the upper flights of the stairs. So the lower flight is still kind of floating out here, but the upper flight of stairs is now captured as this mudroom. And so we've got some shoe storage here. This is a bench you could sit on, and then each half could slide out for shoe storage. And then we've got 3 locker spaces that can have hooks on both sides for 6 backpacks, or 3 backpacks and 3 jackets, or something like that. And then we've got ourselves here a small mudroom tucked in underneath the stairs as well. So the toilet area here would fit underneath the upper landing of the stairs, and then the vanity on the opposite side would still be full height. There's plenty of room to stand here. And then with both of these doors closed, because we're going to put some frosted glass in them, even when this door is closed, you'll get a little bit of natural light. Not a ton, mind you, but at least some borrowed light, so you're not plunging yourself into a pitch black space when you go to use this bathroom. That's a no-go for me. So I'm very happy to hear that you're on board having these 2 doors be glassy. I think these might be the only 2 doors that are glassy. The rest of them are solid. Okay, I think it's time to head upstairs. Yeah. So we'll go upstairs. We'll see a big flared skylight shaft up here. And then we'll see a balcony door leading out to the balcony. And then we'll see 1 door leading to a bedroom, 2 louvered doors for the side-by-side washer dryer, bathroom door, bedroom door, and a playroom door. These rooms aren't really fully built out very much. There's not much to see in there, but we will take a look at your master suite. So the door will swing open this way, revealing 3 wide windows, a vaulted ceiling for your master suite, and 2 high windows over the bed wall. And then this door swings into a bit of furniture, like a dresser or a nightstand or something, maybe with a TV above it. But then we've got a nice little reading spot here in the corner with a window looking into the balcony. And again, the 3 windows there. And then this door leading to the master bathroom, the pocket door. And we see this split vanities with a tub in the middle. And then the 3 high windows above the tub that you can see from the shower. And again, these are high windows still, high sills, because we're still looking out onto the side and we can't really have low sills here. But I still think this is going to be great to look out and see green trees, blue sky, and to see this happening above this central tub. And then looking this way, we've got a door into the walk-in closet, and then a very nice amply sized shower with a door in the middle. This could be a steam shower with glass going all the way up to the top, and then an operable piece of vent glass here, as well as of course the door. And then we're seeing a little bit of that niche that I'm pushing into the front-facing bedroom for playroom closet. We're pushing in a little bit there to give you a really nice niche here. So you can sit down here or use this for shaving legs perhaps, but then we can also fill in here and put a lot of shelves to store bottles and such. Although I'm still a fan of letting the tile work be really, really clean, and then coming in later with a piece of furniture, like some teak furniture that would have the shelves on it, that's a standalone piece that maybe lives in the corner. Personally, I just think that looks a lot cleaner than trying to tile in a bunch of niches, personally. And then we've got here finally the door leading into the water closet. But that water closet has its own window, so this glass doesn't need to be, or this door doesn't need to be glassy. And then again, I really just like how at the end of the bathroom here, there's this really nice big window. So this is just a really great spot to do the morning routine and look out this window at your beautiful roof and your beautiful front yard. Okay, let's walk back out and see if there's anything that I might have missed. I don't think there is. We hadn't discussed yet that the master suite would be a vaulted ceiling, but I hope you like that. I really like it. Again, these rooms aren't developed with like an interior surface in them that hides all the mess happening beyond, but you know, it's a decent sized or a well lit room, right? These are smaller bedrooms than what I might otherwise suggest, but the spaces are definitely going to be very well lit. Big skylight shaft. Very brightly lit core of the house coming down here. Light's going to come down, pouring through there. It's a serious powerhouse of a kitchen, huh? Especially with this huge pantry core. And then this super amazing, unique, one of a kind, very special dining room. I know that usually I probably would find myself sitting here at the head of the table, but I feel like the best seat in the house is definitely going to be either this chair facing this way, because that's a really cool, unique view. But then again, any of these three chairs here have a fantastic view. This chair's got a great view. All right, so there's not a bad seat in this house. That's or in this dining room. That's great. And then again, you can see just the one curved door. This doesn't have to be a curved door, but just because I love so much this half round happening here to mimic all the other half rounds we're doing in the house, I do feel like the coat closet deserves that one-off special door. Do one final fly around. And as you can see here, I know one of the contractors was asking about solar. Um, I'm showing that you could fit approximately 6 panels. They're all different sizes and different manufacturers, but I think this would be a reasonable amount of area here to put panels above your master bedroom roof, and then here above the bedrooms and bathrooms. I'm not super. I'd be okay if you omitted these. I think this is probably the most powerful side of your house to have the panels on. But, I don't necessarily want to see those panels from the corner here. And you certainly don't have to have all 12 panels. So I'm showing 6 on this side and 6 over there. It's really up to your solar vendor to determine how much you need, how much you want, and where the best spot to put them is. But I think these 2 arrays will make sense. Okay, I'm going to clean up these 2 window locations for those bedrooms before I print this off and send it to you. But guys, I am super in love with this house and its half round motif that we've got going in quite a few different places. I hope you guys love this as much as I do. But if not, I look forward to hearing your feedback and we'll continue to iterate. And then when we submit back to planning, I will revert over into building permit mode and we'll get this thing getting underway with structural engineering and a little more detail on my plan set so that we can go from a planning permit to a building permit. Thank you so much, guys.